Hello everyone and welcome back to Satisfactory. It's been a hot minute since I have played this game because I unfortunately could not upload an episode last week since last time I was supposed to upload one because I was moving into a new apartment. So, we have like a whole month of having not played this game. But I did want to check on my... Oh yes, my modular frames have filled up nicely. Now it should start filling again if I take some out. Fantastic. That means that factory is working. The factory that's all the way down here, in this general area. I think it's like over here-ish, sort of between these two little things. I love that this map is like the topography lines. It's very nice. It's very useful, like how high up things are. Anyway, one thing that I wanted to do today was find another collection of iron nodes to use for making the like bare bones, very basic iron resources. I'm talking the plates, the rods, and the screws. Just all that loveliness. That will be the only thing that. And honestly, I might have that factory make reinforced iron plates too. Just because I know that I'm gonna eventually use this area that's above me. Let me go up there. Yep, but yes, I'm eventually going to be using this area here. These iron nodes and those two copper nodes over there. This will eventually become my motor, stator, and rotor, stator, and motor factory because what is it? The stators require copper. So I was like, I've got the iron here, I've got the copper over there. I can make all of those things in this one place, and then just have this one leftover limestone node here, which I think I'll just continue to have churning away until I get a better concrete situation going. But I feel like there's not a lot of like areas where there are clusters of limestone nodes on the map. There's usually just like one or two every so often. And one thing I do want to get going sooner rather than later is better jetpack fuel. Because, like, this fuel is all well and good, it's better than just using coal, but it also doesn't last super long. Like, if I were to hold down the button, I couldn't get all the way over there. Now, I probably can if I just feather it, but maybe not that I've already used half of it. Yeah, I'm gonna fall. Yeah, so I want to get some better fuel going, which I do have, recipes for, but I need to be getting that happening. I do think that I want to end up, doing fluids a little weird. Like, I don't know if there's any iron up here that I can... Oh, but I don't need coal for, I don't need coal for steel anymore, because I have the petroleum coke, steel ingots. So, we're gonna be using that at some point. Anyway, I'm confusing myself and probably confusing all of you. So, without further ado, we're going to try and find another, area of iron nodes. Hopefully relatively close by to here. Time to scan for iron ore. Yeah, I know about those. There's 3 this way. I think I'll go to those, because that way's only 1. Unless it's pure. It is pure. And the 3 up here are impure, so maybe I'll just go to the pure one, honestly. It's probably a better idea anyway. Oh, it's the one right over here, isn't it? One might not be the best idea, actually. Because there's also the copper node right here, too. So this could be useful for something else. Here's an iron node. So this is one of those 3 impure nodes, but it's so close to the oil that I think I might end up turning this area into steel production instead. Because I can use the petroleum coke from the oil and then still have oil products. Because it's oil, but there's this here. Which I can open. So I might as well open that.
Wait, oh. Too late.
Oh.
Take the damaged hard drive to the MAM for analysis.
I was about to land up there, but there's uranium right there. And things are shooting at me, so I'm gonna run away. Yeah, I think because there's iron up there and there's oil here, I'm gonna end up using this area to make steel, later, and then I'll probably end up... I mean, I'll probably keep my current steel facility, but just also make steel. Because I can, and steel is useful. Or I might end up tearing down my old steel facility once I get enough petroleum coke steel going. Because then I can use all of my coal to either produce power or compacted coal for better fuel. Until I get rocket fuel, because when I get rocket fuel, I mean, I don't know if that's going to use coal or not. Where's this water coming from? I'm gonna die. Yeah, okay, wait. I made it to not die. But anyway, it seems like that water's just coming from inside that thing. Which is kind of wild. And I mean, I see gas rocks, I explode them. So I found 2 iron nodes that, I mean, like, one of them I'm already tapping and I have other plans for. The other one is, like, just a singular iron node, and it's right next to a copper node, so I feel like I'll probably get better use out of that, making something else later. And it's also really close to where I want my trains to come in. And then the iron that's that way is going to be used to make steel in the future. So I'm wondering, because this is sort of like a natural hallway, if I just go down this, and it would be a perfect thing to run trains through. And I already have a factory along this sort of hallway, with the sort of impromptu cobbled together quartz factory thing that I did, which is up there. I think probably if there is iron along this somewhere, which there probably should be, it would be a good place to make that iron things factory. And there's limestone right here. Okay, let's scan for iron now. Ah, there's some up here. Hello, friends. Oh. Sorry, my gun is, well, that's interesting. Okay, let me kill this one first. Okay, because this one has an ear missing. Look at that. That's definitely something. It's obviously attached to him. It's supposed to go on his head. Now, yes, I know I'm taking a lot of damage from you because you're a little bugged out. Okay, fine. Let me hit you with a stick. Is it still there? Yeah, I didn't want to kill it first because I figured that the bug would go away when I died. Ooh, these look like they're gonna be sort of, yeah, over here. There's a little bit of flat land here to work with. Oh, hello. Yes, where'd he go? Okay. Alright, this is pure, which is lovely. And this one should hopefully also be pure. And I'm guessing the third one is up on that shelf of rock. Is the third iron node up here? I know there's a third one around here somewhere. There's two there. Is the third one like around the corner or something? Alright, I saw the orange over here and I was like, ooh, crash site. We take those. Oh! Well. We take those when we can actually fly all the way there. Repairs needed. It needs copper sheets. Pretty sure I have those. Hi, buddy. Yeah, I know. Okay. I'll just take that and go back to where I was. Okay, this is really interesting, because I think that there's supposed to be 3 iron nodes here. I mean, if there's only supposed to be 2, that's fine. I guess there are only 2. And there's more this way. Oh yeah, there's one here. This is pure. And this one is pure. And this one over here is pure. And this is also an iron node that is pure. Wow. Okay. So maybe I do make this... Maybe I make this like a bigger iron processing plant. Where did this guy go? Oh, there he is. Oh. I think he clipped into the wall. I think he clipped into the wall and got stuck on the other side. Which is unfortunate for him. So I have like a total of 6, I think, pure iron nodes here. And they were only being protected by a collective of 3 hogs. That's wild. Yeah, this area might fill all of my other like iron, like solo iron needs. All of my other iron needs that do not require other materials. Because I knew that the heavy modular frames were going to need their own factory, because heavy modular frames are like a whole thing. But this could cover everything else. From the simple stuff to the more complex stuff, like, let's see, yeah. Plates, rods, screws, reinforced iron plates, probably even the iron rebar I can make here. But really, at this point, we're just going to be making and storing mass amounts of iron stuff for later, bringing on train to a different location. But now we've got to figure out how we're going to do this. There's a dog here. Hello, dog. Pet lizard doggo. Petting him doesn't tame him if I don't give him treats. I kind of want to look at these limestone nodes to just see. That's normal. This is probably then... Oh, that's pure. And then there's another one over here-ish, I think. Oh, and there's a copper node right there. There's... This one is normal. And this copper node over here is pure. Now, copper nodes tend to have friends that are, like, up higher. This one seems to be lonely, which is unfortunate. I don't know if I have a doggo named Elliot yet, so let's name this one Elliot. And put him in a cage. Eventually, I will get all of my doggos and take them to a nice doggo place, where they can have plenty of space and run around and frolic and be free. Nominally free. Because if they're too free, they might accidentally get themselves killed. That's an interesting moral dilemma, though, isn't it? That there's a sort of dichotomy between freedom and safety. Well, I see a gas rock. It doesn't seem to be emitting gas, but that's no excuse to not explode it. Okay, I really need to stop procrastinating and figure out how we're gonna do this. I don't think these two are gonna be incorporated into the factory directly, but I think that the other four probably will be. I can get up here to get a nice sort of bird's eye view of this area. And it should work beautifully. I think that, I mean, we might even be able to make like a sort of L-shaped factory here, going from here, this way, and down here, and then like that. Sort of like an L-shaped factory, or it could even come up like that and go over those two and have the... I don't really like that, though. I don't like putting the miners in the factory unless the factory's, like, above the miner. Which you end up having to do a lot in the Red Desert, so we'll probably end up doing that a lot in the Red Desert. And there is actually a lot of limestone in this area, so it might be a good idea to turn this into a concrete factory as well, or have, like, a little section of it that's a concrete factory. Because you can never have too much concrete in this game. There's another crash site over there. Well, I mean, I simply must. Let's procrastinate more on actually starting this factory that should be relatively simple to build. Well, hello. Starting's always the hardest part. Because it's the, you know, it's that, I don't know if there's an actual, like, name for it, but, like, that feeling you get when you look at a blank sheet of paper. Like, people that draw understand what I'm talking about, and probably people that write. It's just, like, the feeling you get from looking at the blank page. It's just like, oh, it's just a blank slate ready for things having done to it. Having things done to it.
The best recovery and rehabilitation care available.
Okay, going back onto this very thin and narrow thing. This might be the wrong thin and narrow thing. No, it's not. I'm just further up it than I was before. We're gonna be doing some, like, very little heavy-handed deforestation here with the kaboomies. Okay, I guess it's actually gonna be on the ground. Because unlike the gas rocks, which I can't explode from, like, just throwing the bomb past them, apparently, I guess you have to be... It has to be on or near the ground. I kind of wish you could, like, when you need to reload, if you kept holding down the button, it would automatically go into you're about to throw it, instead of having to, like, press R or press the button again to actually reload it. Okay, this is looking a lot more freshly shaven. Ah! Not me continuing to almost fall off this very narrow walkway. There's a couple more trees I want to get rid of just because it'll make it easier to get those 2 nodes of iron into the factory itself. Well, I wanted to get those 2 trees, but I guess I need to throw it a little farther for that. There. That should be good. And now I should hopefully be able... Falling! Yeah, I should be able to make foundations from up here, hopefully. Oh, and we forgot to go into zoop mode, but that's fine. Oh, see, this is why I start with the 4 meters, because see, even the 4 meters are a little bit too little. And so I gotta go in with the 4 meters across the top. There. Okay, well, I finally fell off the thing in a way that I couldn't come back from. So, we're gonna continue this. And it seems like it might end up just being a nice little rectangle. Nice sort of rectangle. Well, I've got to do my foundation placing mechanic thing that I have learned. And then we'll get started on the actual factorying. Well, first we gotta do conveyor belts from the nodes. Oh, I have just shy of enough concrete. Let's wait. Yeah. Okay, one more explosion. And that should be... Oh, nope. Here too. Eh. 2 is probably overkill. But we've got to get rid of all of the nature. Yeah, even over here too. Do it over here too. Just to get rid of every little speck of green on my nice flat gray concrete surface. So, miners. Mark II, preferably. This is going to be a lot of iron. I might actually need more than one Mark IV belt. Because the pure nodes make 120 per minute. And the miners double that. So I would need one belt for every 2 miners. Which is like a lot. But it also means that I can kind of do this. So I can pull these out this way. I mean, yeah, I can do this on one foundation, and then I don't have to worry about the thing. So still with the merger, keep it as in line with this as I can. Do that. Go into there, and this go into there. Beautiful. Now it can go out this way without much trouble. Okay, so I've connected it to this conveyor wall hole here. So now I need to connect up the others. I think I'm going to do the same thing with this one that I did with the last one, where it's kind of going to end up being really vertical. But we shall see if it ends up being very vertical. I could probably... yeah. No, there's a creature in the way. I could probably do an extra one, but it's gonna clip into that rock, so I'm not going to. But I could, this way, add, like, a couple more. But, I think I might do, like, 3 individual pods of smelters for each, line, and then, those 3 individual pods of smelters will go into, will end up going into one line of... well, not one line, but 3 different lines that are kind of in the same place of ingots. Sometimes I catch glimpses of these gas rocks out of the corner of my eye, and I have to go on my anti-gas rock crusade. Okay, this side of the factory is a little weird, because these 2 nodes are here. These 2 there. And then the other 2 are over here, in a way that I need to go up and over to get foundation all the way over there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this end up, but only these 2. And then, actually, I'm gonna ramp it. Rampy, rampy. Okay, miner mark 2. Gonna get that as straight on with this as possible. Well, now I don't have any more portable miners. Which is unfortunate, because it means I need to make more. You know what? Well, we need to make more portable miners. I'm gonna, like, toss this down right here. And I'm also gonna toss a MAM down about here. And because I've got... stop with the explosives. I have no more explosives. We're gonna do some hard drive scanny stuff. If I can remember where to scan those. Oh, there we go, hard drive. Scan hard drive. There we go. It's weird that that's not in the hard drive. I feel like that should be under the hard drive tab. Well, I ended up making way more than just 8, but, you know, I'll have some extras lying around. I might ramp it. I'm gonna ramp this one. Like, actually. I'm gonna ramp it. I need the inverted ramp, though. Or the double ramp. Whichever one that is, double ramp. Yeah. Ramp it there, and then just go across. Beautiful. And now this just goes all the way to the end into a conveyor lift, which will be about here, and it'll probably end up going sort of, the smelters for this one will be over here. Because there's going to be 3 different pods of smelters. I already explained this. There's going to be 1 pod for every 2 clustered thingies. 48. 480 divided by 30 is 16. So I will need 16 smelters for each individual node. Not for each individual node, for each pair of nodes. So I'll need 16 smelters, preferably in this little area right here. So we're gonna get on that, and I'm probably gonna make like a manifold this way that's going into separate manifolds of smelters, like I did for the other factory. This is honestly probably the most annoying part of setting up somewhat larger scale factories, is just the amount of like short little conveyor belts you have to do between things. I wish that there was like they could add a build mode for conveyor splitters to like automatically connect it to things. Like automatically connect it to machines that it's directly in front of. Maybe. You can make things a little bit easier. Could be cool. Oh hey, my hard drive is done scanning. Let's go see what's in it. Is it this one at the bottom? Yeah. Steel cast plate. And steel rotors. I don't really think I like either of these. Okay, I've finished connecting up this bit here. I need to do the conveyor belts on this side, and then I will work on the other 2 pods of smelters. Okay. Another hard drive. What's this one? Turbo heavy fuel. And steel rods. So that's heavy oil residue with the compacted coal. I don't know what the normal recipe is. My caps lock is on. Turbo fuel is regular fuel and compacted coal instead of the, well, oh, because fuel is already a product of heavy oil residue, so you just bypass one more step. I think that's actually really good. And then steel rods just make rods out of steel ingots, which, I mean, it doesn't really cut a step out of a process. It just makes a resource made with a really cheap, it makes a thing made with a really cheap resource be made out of a more expensive resource, but you get a little more out of it. And I'm more inclined to take heavy turbo fuel because it completely cuts a it cuts a whole thing out of that process. Like there's a whole extra refinery that you don't need. Alright, that's the 3rd pot of smelters done. I have this oriented in a way that all of the output should flow into this general area, and then they'll go up a level. And I am probably going to do what I said earlier with the each pair going to a different floor to be turned into different things. Ooh. I think I found out how to get into where I heard the shiny noises. There may or may not be spiders in here. It doesn't seem like there are. Which is interesting in and of itself. I was expecting this to be a slug and not a Mercer sphere. So, we've got 480 ingots coming out of each sort of pod of smelters. So let me do some math. So at 15 per minute, I need double the amount of constructors that I do. So I would need 32 constructors to make that many rods. I don't think I need nearly that many. So what I could do is I could use 1 pod to make plates and rods. And I could use 1 pod to make screws. Well, you know, I'll just use 1 pod to make each a different thing, and then we're also gonna make reinforced iron plates with this this dealie. Okay, there's my 32 constructors. I've got to run all of the conveyors and then sort of look down here and make sure that they don't interfere with... they don't interfere, but it'll be a little weird. So I think what I'm gonna do... Because one of them needs 24, which is also a lot. So I'll probably have... Well, I mean, let's see. Because that's 32. And that didn't take up nearly as much space as I thought it would, so let's do it, figure out a 24. Okay, yeah, that seems to work, so this is 24. 6, 6, 6, and 6. And now there's not really any space for the 10, that I need. Although, I mean, I could finagle it a little bit. And I also have space to make this top thing bigger. So I could definitely do that, except that I don't have any noblest. Yeah, I do. They're in there. Alright, more deforestation. Yeah. We deforest. Alright, so yeah, we had to build a little extra, but it'll get everything on this one floor, and then I can have a top floor that's really small, that just has the assemblers that are going to be making the reinforced iron plate. However many we decide that we want, because it's not, like, I mean, it's gonna be, I'm gonna take half from each of these things and put it into storage for the individual iron items, and then I'm gonna take the other half to turn into reinforced iron plates of the plates and screws. So my task now is to run all of the conveyor belts for this ludicrous amount of constructors. So I will get cracking on that, and I'm thinking I'm gonna send all of the things, I guess, into the middle again to probably more to here than to over there. But yeah, I will see you again when that is complete. Okay, I believe I have another hard drive. Yes. Molded beam and plastic smart plating. Honestly, don't really care about the plastic smart plating. Like, it's faster, but I'm only gonna need a very limited amount of smart plating. I don't think is worth it. But I have plenty more hard drives. Oh, there's a summer sloop up here. I just randomly walked. Nothing from Ada. Okay, so I need to go generally this direction, which means probably my main power tower serving this factory is gonna go up here, which means explosion. Destroy the wildlife. Okay, so I think before I actually power this, because I'm powering it from this power tower that's way up on this pillar, I think I'm gonna need to finish the 3rd floor of it so that I can make the power go in from the top. Okay, reinforced iron plates. I want to see how many of these that I can make. So it takes 6 plates and 12 screws. I should be making 480 plates and about 500 screws per minute. So if I cut those in half, that would be 240 and 2,500. So 48 assemblers? I don't think I need to be making nearly that much. I don't think I need to be making 240 iron plates per minute. Reinforced iron plates per minute. That's gonna be a lot. So I can probably, you know what? I'll probably just do like 20, maybe? Or maybe just however many that I can fit on this platform, because I really don't feel like making it bigger. And I could probably do half that many and still have plenty of reinforced iron plates coming in. Okay, I figured this out since I kind of decided to not do a logistics floor, because I figured doing a logistics floor just for this last thing would be annoying. I've done this before with the, double thing, and actually, this might be too close together for it to work. Oh, it is. Dang it. Okay, so I've got to figure something else out, because I really don't want to have to rebuild all these assemblers. Even though, I mean, I do have plenty of space to spread these out a little. I don't really have plenty of space to spread these out a little more. I could make space to spread these out a little more, though. Alright, these two miners are churning away, giving us some iron, and I've also got all of these smelters powered. So all of these smelters should be... They would be making iron ingots if I had it, had the thing done. So we're gonna do that. Okay. That's gonna slowly fill up. Do manifold things. And send ingots all the way up there, where the constructors are awaiting power. Alright. Last pair of miners and last pod of smelters are all powered. So these should be cranking away while I figure out what to do upstairs. Oh, hey, there's a Mercer sphere up there. I mean, I see it. I should go grab it, right? Nothing for Meta for that. Okay, all of my constructors are powered. And they've been churning away for a little bit, making me rods and plates and screws. Now all I've got to do is run conveyor belts and power for the assemblers. So I'll get doing that. Okay, I've got the inputs hooked up. I need to hook up the outputs, which are all gonna go that way. I just had a thought of what I could do with this, because these could go to storage first. Okay, that's a little better. A little bit less spaghetti-y, but still a little spaghetti-y. And so now it'll fill up with screws and plates. It'll fill the storage container, and then it will send them to the assemblers. Okay, so it's gonna be rods, plate, screws, reinforced iron plates. And I'm going to have any overflow go into an awesome sink. So in order for the awesome sink thing to work, I need these to be a little bit further apart. So we're gonna do that. There we go. 4 storage containers, awesome sink, fantastic. Now to power all these assemblers. Alright, let's check on this hard drive. Scan complete. Silicon circuit board and insulated crystal oscillator. So the silicon circuit board, that takes plastic out of the circuit board recipe. I don't think I really care about the insulated crystal oscillator. Like, I think it's... What is it? Slightly faster, but it requires a manufacturer? Yeah, no. Alright, I'm gonna scan the next one. We might actually finish these by the end of the episode. Okay, I've got these 3 things laid out, so, and it'll send the overflow to the awesome sink once these all get filled up, which they're starting to fill up very nicely. I need to string up the outputs for these, which are not going to be getting any more resources until those storage containers are full, so I have a little bit of time before the outputs get backed up. But once I do that, I think that I will call it an episode. We can see one more hard drive and then call it an episode. See what it is. Automated speed wiring and wet concrete. Now, I think I remember hearing somewhere that wet concrete is, like, really good. Which makes sense there because it makes 80 per minute. Like, that's a lot. I think right now, from, like, one node, you can maybe make a max of... Like, you can make a max of 45 per minute in, one constructor, but making 80 per minute in one refinery seems pretty good. It's almost double the amount for less than, double the space. Yeah, that's more than double. I like that. I'm gonna sit on that, though. Like, I'm gonna grab it, but I'm gonna sit on it for a little bit. Because I plan to scan these last 2 hard drives, hopefully by the end of the episode. Boom. Here they come. All the reinforced iron plate. Into here. That's a lot of them. I also could make dimensional storage for these. But I kind of want to wait until they're full first. Although I think I have plenty of all of these items in dimensional storage, so they wouldn't go in immediately anyway. And I have enough to make... I have enough to make them. Why don't we do that? Oh, I don't have enough SAM fluctuators. Oh hey, hard drive scan is done. Ooh, let's see. Cheap silica, which is quartz and limestone. I'm not sure about that one. And heavy flexible frames, which I guess is heavy modular frames, but with... Instead of steel pipes, it's rubber. I have one more scanny scan to do. And I'll let that scan while I get some more sand fluctuators made. I realized that earlier I had the screws and the plates set up to go into the awesome sink. And that was a bad idea, because if I do that, then they'll never back up and go into the assembler line. So I had to take that line out over there so that the plates and screws would go into the assembler line. The plates are already backed up enough. They're starting to go in there and fill up. All filled up with plates, and the plates are gonna fill down this manifold slowly while the screws fill up their storage container, because screws stack higher. So it'll take them a little bit longer to finish going into the storage container. But once they get all backed up, then they'll start going into the assembler line 2, and we'll be cranking on the reinforced iron plates. And those will be going into the awesome site. Research complete. Let's go look. See what this is. Coated iron canister. Or iron alloy ingot. Which is much faster iron ingots, but it requires copper. Not so sure about that one. This one is interesting, but I'm pretty sure that those canisters usually only take plastic, and this probably makes more, but yeah, they're usually just 2 plastic. It still makes 60 per minute. I guess if you really can't figure out how to do oil. Pretty much all of these things that I have, the ones that like all of the ones that I'm interested in are ones that I'm like, I don't need to take this right now. So I'll just sit on it. Well, I hope that y'all enjoyed watching me build this weird little iron factory. Let's see if the screws backed up yet. Nope. Screws are still going. They're still making their way into the storage container. But that's alright. I hope that y'all have a fantastic day, and bye. It didn't show my hands.